Welcome back, children. See, we have completed the chapter of atoms long back. Today we will be beginning a new chapter from second year, that is nuclei. So in this particular chapter, we will be discussing about properties of nucleus apart from the even discovery of neutron. So to begin with, today we will start with the properties of nucleus. Before beginning with the properties of nucleus, all of you know the general representation of an element in the periodic table. So the name of the element is X. Here A and Z, Z and A. Z represents atomic number. X is the name of the element. And A is called the mass number. Hope you have already studied this. This is a general representation. What is the significance of this atomic number? Atomic number gives us the number of protons, which is also equal to the number of electrons. Whereas mass number gives me the number of nucleons, which is the sum of protons plus neutrons. The total number of nucleons is given by the mass number. Element name we write it as X, depending on its representation, if it is hydrogen H, if it is helium He, and so on. And this atomic number gives you the number of protons, which is always equal to number of neutrons. So we'll be using this general representation. Now coming to the properties of nucleus, from Rutherford's scattering experiment itself, we have observed that nucleus is a central part of the atom, which is heavy and is positively charged. Now in today's class, we will be discussing more about this nucleus. First, let us begin with the size of the nucleus or composition of nucleus first. We will be studying about its composition, charge, mass, radius, as well as its density. So let us study these 5 basic properties of nucleus. First, coming to the composition. All of we know that from Rutherford's experiment itself, we have proved that nucleus consists of 2 subatomic particles, that is protons plus neutrons. So we can say nucleus composition is protons and neutrons together. We know protons are positively charged and neutrons are neutral. The number of protons is driven by the atomic number Z, and number of neutrons is given by A minus Z. Mass number minus atomic number will give you the number of neutrons. So put together, mass number gives me the total number of nucleons inside the nucleus. So this is regarding composition. Then coming to its charge. So charge of nucleus, as I told you, neutrons are neutrally charged. Charge is only because of protons. So you can write the charge as number of protons, that is Z, into charge of each proton I will write it as E. Nucleus is positively charged and it has a charge given by Z into E. Then coming to the mass. Since it contains protons and neutrons, the total mass of nucleus should be sum of mass of protons plus sum of mass of neutrons. So I will write the total mass as Z into mass of proton plus A minus Z into mass of neutron. We know that mass of proton and neutron, or while dealing with atomic masses, we use atomic mass unit for measuring the masses. So in terms of AMU, mass of proton, you can remember these values, is 1.00727, mass of neutron 1.00866. Here itself I will also give you the mass of electron in atomic mass units. It's 0.00055 atomic mass units. So these are the masses of proton, neutron and electron in terms of AMU. So if you know the number of protons and the number of neutrons, you can easily find out the total mass of nucleus. So this is the formula for calculating the mass of nucleus. Then coming to radius of nucleus. Okay, based on scattering experiments itself, it was observed that the radius of the nucleus is given by this relation. R is equal to R naught a to the power 1 by 3. Okay, radius of nucleus is some constant R naught. A is the mass number, cube root of mass number. So if you find the value of R naught, the value of R naught which was experimentally determined is R naught is equal to 1.2 into 10 power minus 15 meter. Okay, you can write it as Fermi meter. So order of nuclear radius is in Fermi meters. It is proportional to the mass number raised to the power 1 by 3. More the mass number, more will be the radius. So these are the first 4 basic properties. One more property, as I told you, that is density. Now let's look into the density of nucleus. So now let's look at the density of nucleus, the fifth property. Okay, we know density is mass per unit volume. If you assume the nucleus should be to be spherical in nature, so how to write density as mass by volume of a sphere? Okay, just now I told you how to calculate the mass of nucleus. Z into mass of proton plus A minus Z into mass of neutron divided by volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, where r is nothing but the radius of nucleus. Now if I put the value of mp and mn, okay, so just now I told you what is the mass of proton and mass of neutron. Since mass of proton and neutron are almost very close to each other, here I will be using an approximation. So if I take mass of proton nearly equal to mass of neutron, then what will be the density? Modify this in the numerator. If I take these two masses as equal, numerator would be A into Mn or A into M, where M is the mass of proton or neutron, which are almost the same, divided by 4 by 3 pi. R I will replace as R naught A to the power 1 by 3. Since you have a cube here, it is R naught cube into capital A. Numerator also has the mass number, denominator also has mass number. Is it getting cancelled in numerator and denominator? So this is a very important property to remember. It implies density of nucleus is independent of mass number. I repeat, they will ask you to derive this or prove that density of nucleus is independent of mass number. For that, this will be very helpful. Okay, prove that density is independent of mass number. You can write the density. Taking this approximation, mass number is getting cancelled in numerator and denominator. And all the remaining are constants. Okay, and you have to convert this AMUs to kilograms. Okay, what is 1 AMU equal to? 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. This is a conversion factor because we want the answer in kg per meter cube. So then substituting all the values, it comes out to be 2.3 into 10 power 17 kg per meter cube. You can observe the order of the density. It's very, very high. Density of water itself is 10 power 3. Now density of nucleus is much higher. That means a very small volume is enclosing a large amount of mass. So density is 2.3 into 10 power 17 kg per meter cube. So this is the density of nucleus, and since it's independent of mass number, whatever is the density for hydrogen, this almost the same would be the order of density of uranium. So all the nucleons will have almost the same radius. So this is regarding the fifth property. So put together, what all did we study today regarding the properties of nucleus? I told you about its composition, its charge, the radius, mass and density. Then let us look deeper into the nucleus. How is neutron discovered? Okay, we know nucleus contains protons and neutrons. So let's look into the details of discovery of neutron. Okay, now coming to the discovery of the neutron. Okay, let's look into the consequences which led to the discovery of this neutron. So we know that hydrogen exists in three isotopic forms: 1H1, 1H2 and 1H3. And all of them have the same atomic number 1, 1 and 1, which implies all of them have one proton inside the nucleus. But along with that, since they differ in their masses and the masses are in the ratio 1:2:3, this led to a conclusion that along with proton there is some neutral matter inside the nucleus which is multiples of a single unit, that is, which is in the ratio 1:2:3. So this neutral matter was later on discovered as nothing but neutrons. So let us see how Chadwick has discovered this neutron in the year 1932. Even discovery of neutron is based on some scattering experiment. Okay, it was found that in a scattering experiment that when beryllium is bombarded with helium, okay, helium-2He4, beryllium 4Be9, it resulted in the formation of carbon, an isotope of carbon, along with some neutral radiations. And these radiations were first predicted that they were electromagnetic radiations and composed of photons. I repeat, when beryllium is bombarded with helium, it resulted in the formation of carbon along with the release of some neutral radiations. Initially, they were predicting that these radiations were photons. If they are photons, that is electromagnetic radiations, the energy of this electromagnetic radiation is much higher than obtained by conservation of energy and momentum of beryllium and helium. So this riddle was being solved by Chadwick. Then he predicted that when beryllium is bombarded with helium, it results in the formation of carbon. Along with carbon, some neutral radiations were also coming out, but these radiations are not photons but some neutral particles, and these neutral particles have ability to remove hydrogens from paraffins. That means when these neutral particles are made to bombard with hydrogen rich material, they were releasing protons. Okay, I repeat, the neutrons or neutral particles, when you make them hit with substance which contain high amount of hydrogen, okay, we call them as paraffins, it was releasing hydrogens. So this led to the conclusion that the neutral matter has the same mass as that of proton. So they were not photons which were released, but in fact a neutral matter whose mass is similar to that of mass of proton. And he called these neutral particles as neutrons. Okay, this is how neutrons were being discovered by Chadwick. Because Chadwick resolved this issue, we say that neutrons were discovered by Chadwick in the year 1932. So how do we represent the neutrons? Okay, neutrons are neutral in charge and have a mass similar to that of mass of proton. So we write it as 0 and 1. Okay, n represents neutron, 0 is the atomic number, so that means charge is 0 but mass is equivalent to 1 atomic mass unit or similar to that of mass of proton. So this was how the neutrons were being discovered. So therefore the composition of nucleus, it consists of protons as well as neutrons. So that's all in today's class. So we have studied some properties of nucleus and then I told you about the discovery of neutron. So in the next class we will be discussing about mass defect and binding energy as well as average binding energy curve.